Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted and I'm hanging out with
Dave.
So we got a message over as it's on the forums.
It is on the forums.
On the forums from Grim Savage, and while he's delighted playing for a while, he's afraid of stepping into the role of a DM.
Speaking of hints, a great place to get hints about DMing and RPGs. Down in the description below, you can find Nerdarchy, the newsletter, where you're going to get weekly tips as well as learn how to game with Nerdarchy.
So it's one of those. It's like the age-old, issue at the group. Every single group has, well, not every group, but lots of groups out there. They have one staple DM, and when that guy burns out, it's like, what do you do?
What do you do? Yeah, there's no one to take up the mantle, or your gaming group breaks up, or that guy just pretty much has resigned himself to be the DM.
Right. So, you've DM'd a lot longer than I have. What is the first barrier, I would say?
So this is going to be a little counterintuitive to what we normally talk about, but as a new DM who's concerned about doing a good job, preparation is going to be your friend, and you're just going to want to have things ready so that you don't have to ad-lib or do things on the fly if you don't feel comfortable with that. We do have our What to Work On series, which will put tools in your toolbox in order to help you with that, so that you constantly have directions to go in. So you're probably going to need to put a little more effort and time into your game prep than a more experienced GM. And then it's just doing it over and over again and getting better. And then, through trial and error, then you're going to realize what things you really don't have to prep anymore, and what things ends up being a waste of your time to prep. It is the biggest thing. It's just like consistently doing it over and over again and getting better through just practice.
I agree. I would also say that when you're doing this, over session after session, it's a learning curve. It's gonna be a challenge, unless you're just that person who's a natural. But I would speak to your players, both before you actually start and at the end of every session. Find out what it is they're looking for. What did they like about what you did? What did they not like? How can you tailor your DMing style and your game to the enjoyment of all?
Yeah, feedback is crucial. It definitely is going to help. Not only that, too, like in this day and age, you're so lucky. Like, there are so many resources available to a new DM. I mean, YouTube is great. There's tons of channels you can check out. I mean, we've got tons of videos helping DMs and giving you ideas and inspiration. There's tons of websites out there that you could go to for even more information. And there's too much information.
Forums, Facebook groups, wherever you feel that you fit in, and you like you like what you're looking at. That's where I would recommend going. I myself, I've been a DM for 10 years, 15 years, somewhere in that vein, and I still question my players. Like, all right, did you have fun? Did you like what I did? So I'm always seeking to learn and to grow and to figure out what new tools can I add to my tool.
Yeah, and no matter how long you've been doing this, you're going to be like, there's going to be games where you feel like you totally flubbed, and there's going to be other games where you feel like you totally nailed it. And like what you think in those two instances, your players may think the total opposite as well. Like, you think you flubbed it and they loved it, and you think you nailed it and they're like,
meh. Yeah, it was okay. What? That was only okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're talking about it was awesome. Rock that thing. So it's just really getting feedback. Having your material prepped and ready to go, having a concise idea what your players actually want to get out of the group. Do a session 0. Look at all of our Game Master tips. Look at what to work on now. Monster BFF is a great place for inspiration as well as our terrible trains and our monster videos. And then there's other great YouTubers out there that are doing the same that you can go pillage. AJ Pickett does a lot of great monster ecologies. A Fistful of Dice, Matt Click does a bunch of everything. You can watch, different games online and see how dungeon masters run their games. If you go over to the One Shop group, it's full of people running games and recording them. So there's a plethora of information out there. You can see how we run our games. Maybe you want to model after that, or maybe that'll show you what you don't want to do. Whatever. There's just tons of information for you to look at, and the biggest thing is just get out there and do it.
Get out there and do it. Don't get overwhelmed by the options. Don't get buried under the too much choice. As a DM,
analysis paralysis.
Right. So like the last thing I want to put out there is new DMs. Should they try to run the pre-prepared modules, or should they try to avoid it?
Whatever they want to do, whatever they feel comfortable with. I mean, it's definitely a way to go, but there's plenty of DMs that just start writing their own material.
I've never run a pre-printed module, and I don't know whether I've ever actually been in a game that's done a pre-printed module.
Yeah,
I have.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I've run them.
Okay.
I don't do it often, but I ran Gamma World. I ran the thing. I didn't feel like making anything up, so I ran the thing out of the book in Gamma World.
Okay.
I used the scenario in the back of the Mutants and Masterminds book. So, you could definitely put them in and make them seamless. If you're going to use a pre-planned adventure, though, you need to read ahead and get a feel for it. You might want to make minor changes or tweaks to make it more geared to your players, or more seamless into the world that you're using. But other than that, it's just a matter of comfort level.
Yeah, reading ahead is key, because when you have somebody who thinks outside the box and they wind up circumventing some of the story, or stumbling onto something, you need to know what's there, as opposed to just knowing what the next
you don't want to be
step
hold
is.
up, guys, and then you're reading it. You want to have kind of an idea what's going on. So that's what I would suggest. Biggest thing, get it out there and do it. You got more resources than we ever did, and check the comments in this video. I'm sure you'll get a lot of good tips there as well. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can head over to nerdarchy.com and hang out on the forums, where this guy just posted his question.
Till next time,
Stay nerdy.